Welcome everybody for the final time to Is It Real? So this is episode 50. I'm finally ending this series, and I don't mean that as an enthusiastic way. It's kind of bittersweet saying bye to this series because it's just been such an awesome and long ride. I'm so thankful for all of the support this series has received. It's insane to think that I just made a random video talking about aliens and UFOs, and then I got flooded with a ton of requests from you guys, and then before I knew it, it became a series. No regrets, nothing like that, just an awesome series. I'm happy it's ending though because I think it's got kind of tired with you guys, and I understand that, and it's just time for it to go. And why not send it off? How much of a bigger bang could I really find than to send it off with none other than Robert the Doll? That's the final topic of this series. So episode 50 is going to talk about this creepy haunted doll. There's some weird information. I'm going to read through this as fast as I can so not to be too boring. Sorry. Trying to get to the page. Here it is. Try not to be too boring for you guys, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this information about Robert the Doll. I'll give you guys my thoughts on the doll, and we will go from there. So it says Robert Eugene Otto, or Gene and his family called him, was just a young boy in the early 1900s when his family maid gave him a strange straw-filled doll to play with. Gene loved his life-size doll and brought it along everywhere, even naming it Robert after himself. It wasn't long, however, before people began noticing signs of Robert the Doll's evil and mischievous nature. As rumor has it, the Ottos and their servants would often hear Gene in his bedroom having conversations with himself in two entirely different voices. That's creepy. Furthermore, the Ottos would wake up in the middle of the night to Gene screaming, only to find the frightened boy in bed surrounded by overturned furniture. Gene would blame Robert the Doll for messing up the bedroom, while Robert would glare at Gene from the foot of the bed. Fuck that. That's some creepy shit, bro. Like, I always knew that Robert the Doll was a fucking creepy, but wow, I've never read that. That is fucking horrifying. Soon after, mutilated toys and mysterious happenings would appear in the home, only to have Gene proclaim each time, quote, Robert did it. And, quote, though the Ottos didn't quite believe Gene, it was reported that they would hear the eerie sound of Robert giggling around the house, and passerbys even claimed to see the small doll moving from window to window. Robert was eventually moved to the attic, where he remained for a number of years. Yeah, I don't even think I would keep that thing in my house. That's fucking nuts. He goes on to say here, Gene inherited his family's Key West mansion after his parents passed away, at which time Robert the Doll returned to his old bedroom, Gene's turret room on the second floor. By then, Gene had been working as an artist, and local folklore insists that Gene spend his days alone in his mansions, painting with his old friend Robert. Gene eventually married, and many tales of his wife's disdain for Robert arose. Conflicting reports surfaced, some alleging that Gene's wife died from insanity after locking Robert in the attic, while others report that Gene died with Robert by his side. Today, Gene's residence operates as a bed and breakfast called the Artist's House, and visitors can even stay in the old turret bedroom. Nah, I'm cool. Robert the Doll now lives at the 4 East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where some believe his hair color and soul are both slowly fading. Visitors beware, though, as Robert's currently favorite mischievous act involves casting curses on those who take his photo without first asking permission. I've heard about this. To date, the walls near his glass case are covered in numerous letters from previous visitors and naysayers, begging for Robert's forgiveness and asking him to remove any hex he has cast. So that's the story of Robert the Doll. Quite the story here. Definitely, in my opinion, a lot more interesting than Annabelle the Doll, who I covered, I think, in episode 39 of my series. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a crazy, I mean, that part, where was it? Gene would claim Robert the Doll would blame Robert the Doll for messing up his room while Robert would glare at Gene from the foot of his bed. That just creeps me out. Like, thinking about laying there saying, hey, it was Robert the Doll, and just seeing it glare at you. Dude, that's a whole lot of Nope. I mean, get me on the Nope train and let's go to Nopeville, because that is some crazy fucking shit. And, you know, a lot of people would say that, you know, Gene was probably a disturbed young kid that turned into a disturbed man that got married and he had psychological problems and he used the doll as an outlet for it. It's a complete possibility. You know, I mean, he got the doll back in what it said the early 1900s, so this was definitely before, you know, medicine was where it is today. So he could have just been one hell of an imagination, and it just grew into this whole thing, and people have just bought it hook, line, and sinker. Or it could be all true. I mean, you know, all the upturned furniture, the mutilated toys, and mysterious happenings around the home, and Gene claiming Robert did it. I mean, it's just crazy to me. Now, you know, I'm a person that if you follow my videos and you know me, I am very, very much a big believer in the paranormal. I do believe it is real, and I do believe that there are certain levels of possession, and I do think that some things can be cursed and or haunted. So I don't really see why this can't be a possibility. I mean, it is possible. But that is just crazy that after everything that the doll put him and his family through, well, primarily him though, that when he inherited the house, he would actually take Robert the Doll and return it to his room, and even like paint with the doll there, and still like be friends with the doll. I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like a really crazy, creepy story. Now, I don't know how authentic all of this is. This could be just completely made up. This could be bullshit, but this is supposedly the story behind it. You know, it said, and the story in this definitely started out with, as rumor has it. So it's a possibility that this could be just a big myth and a fairy tale, but it's definitely a very interesting one nonetheless. Me, I'm kind of 50-50 on this. I'm 50% thinks that the kid just had psychological problems and he blamed the doll for it, and another part of me believes that maybe he was being truthful and this doll was actually a little troublemaking, evil little shit. It's a possibility, I guess, but it's definitely interesting. I will link you guys to this page. This is a really cool page. It'll be in the description below. It's a safe website, of course. I would never link you guys to anything nasty. It's got pictures of Robert the Doll here, including outside of the museum that he's at. You can see all the letters people have left Robert and all that stuff. So it's definitely an interesting thing. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued even more by doing this video on Robert, and I've definitely enjoyed making this video for you guys. So that's pretty much going to do it for me for the final time. Thank you guys so much for the support and tuning into Is It Real? It has been a hell of a ride. Episode 50 is going to send this series into retirement. It's been amazing. It's been fun. Thank you guys so much for everything. I mean, I really mean it. If it wasn't for you guys recommending so many things, this wouldn't even be happening. So thank you. Have a good one, and I will see you guys in the future. Take it easy.